Hey sports bettors, thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd. I teach beginner and struggling sports bettors how to use positive expected value data-driven tools like OddsJam to make money, profit over and over again in all the different sports, all the different markets. And the video series I have going here, this is the third video of about five. This video is the step-by-step process. I get questions all the time, from beginners like, Boyd, where do I even start? What do I do? How do I get going? And so what I've done is created sort of a video series to help with education terminology. The second video was probability, price, and odds, just describing the mathematics behind that. And today's video is all about the markets and the various markets, which we start to get into the sports books and really tell you, where you can start to hunt and shop and use the tools to identify positive EV bets to make money. So hope this video brings a lot of value. It's just a lot of information that I want to share with you and get into it. So let's get started. Now, before we get into the video, which I think has a ton of value, I want to remind you there's a 25% discount off the first month of OddsJam. So if you're a new user, you haven't used the tools yet, you want to get that done because you really have to have the tools in order to identify the positive expected value plays and all the different outlying prices in the market. So definitely get yourself set up with OddsJam. Step one. Also want to remind you that I have a scorecard. It's sort of an AI scorecard that's going to help you identify where you are in the process, sort of an assessment of where you are in the sports betting world of knowledge and understanding. That link is down below. Take that link. It's really, really cool. You're going to get an email right away with a very, very customized, detailed report based on the answers of how you go through that process. Really, really cool. So, I think you might kind of enjoy that and get some good value out of that. And lastly, I want to remind you that I'm always open to one-on-one conversations, one-on-one Zoom calls or Google Meet phone calls, just because I think it's important to help you sort of describe to me where you're at in the process and help you sort of come up with a profit plan or a game plan on how to attack all this. So I open up that to a free consult for a half hour. Love to do it. Love to talk to you about where you're located and what you've got going on to really help you start to elevate this and go very, very quickly in an expedited fashion. So make sure you take advantage of all those things. Let's get into the video. All right, so this video is all about markets, and the sports betting markets are very, very vast and very, very diverse with all the different sports books you have available. And I highly recommend you get involved in as many sports books as you possibly can because it gives you as many pricing options and pricing choices in all the various markets. And so it's very critical to take advantage of that and use as many as you can. Now, you're going to have different pricing in the FanDuels, the DraftKings, the BetMGMs. All of them make up their own prices, and all of them follow different strategies on how they do risk management. So it's very important to have those choices and have those options. If you have one or two, you're really limiting yourself and making your job a lot harder to profit. Let's jump in and talk about sports books. When I talk about sports books, I'm talking about the market-making sports books that we'll use as the true north to identify the market pricing and the best pricing available. And these are typically sports books like Pinnacle, Circa, the ones that are making up their own lines, their own odds, taking in large volume of bets, large sharp volume of bets. And that's really a good indicator of the actual price and what the market's doing and where the market should be and could be and will go. And it's going to help you use the other sports books that are the public sports books, the non-mainline sports books that you can pick out prices and outlier opportunities using the tools like OddsJam. So you have your market-making sports books like the DraftKings, the FanDuel, the Circa, the Pinnacles, all of those different sports books, Bookmaker. And then you have other sports books that you might hear, the Canby books. Those are the sports books that have a different risk tolerance provider, the odds makers, the people that are providing them their odds. And then they're different from other sports books. And so there's a lot of diverse pricing going on and a lot of moving and adjusting based on what their philosophy is, what their handle is, what they're doing. And you can use all this market information to really identify sort of the answer to the test and where you want to be for your bets. So imagine, if you will, the NFL markets, the NFL mainline markets as a cruise ship, right? As a major, large, huge ship. And that's really tough to turn left or right, really tough to go backwards or forwards. It's a huge, huge entity. Whereas the alternative markets and the player prop bets, the player props are things like, statistics for a particular player to go over under certain stats. And as you can imagine, finding those opportunities as a smaller ship, a smaller boat, much less different than that major cruise line that the point spread in an NFL game would be compared to. So envision and imagine, the alternative markets and the player props as being a lot easier to find value, not so much with the big efficient NFL market. And that's kind of where you're going to want to be as a beginner, is really shopping through those alternative markets and player prop bets, which we'll dig into a little bit more coming up next. Now, I also want to jump into betting exchanges, and sports betting exchanges are things like Sporttrade, Novig, which is just launched in the United States and I think over 40 different states. You have Profit Exchange. Now, these betting exchanges are very, very valuable because that's also going to give you a really good indicator of where the market's going in all the different areas, the sports betting markets. Sporttrade does a really good job of showing you the tape, where the bets are coming in, how much is being put on the bets, and you can see the pricing adjustments as they happen. It's literally seeing how the pricing works and where the pricing is going on games and on the volume and on all the different bets. So really, really key to know the smart kids in school. You want to get the answers of the test from the smart kids, and those odds-making sports books that are taking in large handle, large volume from sharp bettors and moving the prices accordingly are going to show you where the outlier prices are on the public sports books, which you can take advantage of. More need to know information about markets is, especially in football, you have to understand that is all the value squeezed out of that market on Sunday morning before kickoff when they made all the pricing adjustments, got all the injury news, all the weather news, all the information. Is really, really difficult to get your bet placed right before kickoff because there's really no value left over. You might have found some value earlier in the week, Monday, Tuesday, before some injury news comes out, maybe before some weather information comes out. But you're going to find that the timing is very important to the market. And so you have to ask yourself, why is this market moving? What is the news? What is the information? Why is the pricing adjusting? Is it volume for sharps coming in? Is it information on a particular player? So, you want to consider what you're betting into and the position that the sportsbook has and maybe why their pricing is such so that you can make some determinations and decisions about, do I want to get into this or not? You have the option. That's one of the best situations a sports bettor could have is choosing whether or not they want to participate in a particular market. But you got to really consider, the fluidness of that market and the volume of that market and what's going on, why the pricing is what it is. All right, there's the markets. I love talking about the markets, using all the tools at OddsJam to help you identify those positive EV bets, the markets and all the diversity you have there, all the different options and choices and really opportunities you can find using these tools. So make sure you catch the next video in this series for the beginners. It's going to be all about bankroll management, risk management, setting the expectation of how much can I make with a particular bankroll size, how long can it take, things like that. So really we're talking about money in the next video. Make sure you catch that. As always, appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you like and join the channel for all this sports betting education content. And again, if you have any questions, let me know down below. Let's go make some mathematical money.